All right, guys, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Win and Play podcast. I am your host, Sean Gary, National Youth Speaker and author of Ricardo's Race, the activity booklet, and a couple other books. So I have a special guest with me today. Me and this guy right here have been friends for some time. I was trying to think about how long, like when we met, and I was like, dang, it's been a minute. Because the quick time frame I put on it.
10 years.
Yeah, that's what, because I was
About 10
like, nah, it's like 10. Because I said 5, and I was like, wait a minute, nah, it's been more like 10. I was like, dang. So anyway, this gentleman is an amazing gentleman. I'm excited.
Hold on, bro. My bad.
Yep, no, you good.
You need me?
But yeah, man, it's been 10 years. I cannot believe it's been 10 years, man.
Time fly, don't it?
It flies. So you guys are in for a treat. You know, for those of you that are here for the first time, no, for those of you who are here for the second or the third or the fourth time, go ahead, like and subscribe and get ready to tag this into other principals, teachers, other parents, all that good stuff. For those of you that are here for the first time, I encourage you also to like and subscribe. But if you want to wait and check out the content, I get it, right? You're like, wait, what is this all about? So basically, the Win and Play podcast, we're here for principals, teachers, and parents, and any other youth advocate, anybody that works with students, work with young people. The goal is to bring the Win and Plays, bring the game, share what works, what doesn't work, and interview those who are working with young people. And then you watching may say, hey, you know what? I got that same knucklehead in my class. I never tried that tactic. I never tried doing that in my room. Or you could be a principal and say, you know what? I love how that other principal works their schedule or whatever it may be. I need to try that because I have some challenges in that area as well. So, but the point is ultimately to serve the youth, to serve the young people. So the better that you guys are able to be here, share your thoughts, comment below things that you hear that you're like, oh, I've done that too, or maybe I haven't, or maybe you've done something different. Engage, leave those comments because there are other educators, other youth advocates that are watching, and ultimately it's free game, free training, free information. And so the community is here for you guys, ultimately for the youth. All right. So before we even get started, I'm not even going to introduce this man, but what we do first is we it's the Win and Play podcast. So it's all about that win and play, right? And I know this man, an athlete, if you can't tell already, you know, he all swole and everything, but listen, you know, as an athlete, you want to go to the championship game, right? And what you want to do when you get there, you want to win, right? So hopefully when you win, you can get you a ring. So every single episode, we eat our ring, our championship ring. So we always start with that. So I'm going to let you pick first and see which one you want.
I'm going to go with the lemonade. I'm going to go lemonade right here.
The lemonade? All right.
The lemonade right there.
Berry punch. Sour cherry. Nah, I'm cool on that one. Blue raspberry. What's this one? Sour cherry. Okay. Say that one for later. What you get? What's yours?
Sour lemonade.
Sour lemonade?
Yep.
Berry punch. I'm going to go with this one. Pop him open. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You know I can't really eat this. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta give him a fake lick.
I got you.
He's not going to eat it for real, you know.
Pause.
Yeah. Right.
Pause.
Right. All right, so this one is very berry punch. So not bad. All right, so I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the people, man. Tell them who you are and all that good stuff, and then we're gonna get into it.
So my name is Gary Tate Jr. I'm a principal at Cincinnati Public Schools. This is my 23rd year in education, and happy to be on the show, man.
Nah, that's what's up. He all came humble with it. Like he ain't talk about nothing else. He just boom, education, boom, principal, 20-something years, in the game, I love it though. I love it. All right. So I like to start the interviews by going all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the beginning, man. You obviously 20 plus years being in education, go all the way back to when you first decided, you know what? I want to work with some students. I want to work with youth. I want to become a teacher, an educator, or eventually maybe a principal. Like whatever that thought process was, what was going on back then with you, and how did you get to that idea?
The west side of Columbus, Ohio, at West High School.
Okay.
Social studies classroom, 12th grade year, either 96 or 97, not for sure when the year, probably was 97 when we was about to getting close to graduation. And my POD teacher, who I was crazy about, Dr. Smith,
okay,
I think like right in the middle of class was like, hey, that football career yours don't work out, you need to go and be a teacher. And I'm like, never had thought about being a teacher ever.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind. I was gonna go to college. Well, I was going to the league, you know.
Right.
I thought I was going to the league. That didn't happen. So, but thinking about being a businessman or something, you know, working at a banker, I didn't know, never education.
Yeah.
And he said that to me. So I sort of waved him off in class and everything like that in front of everybody. And then later on, I got to class early, maybe a week later, the next day later, and just asked him, you know, Doc, why you say that to me? Like, why you say to be a teacher?
That's good.
And he was like, well, basically, I can say something to your class and they miss it. Then all of a sudden you explain it to them and all of a sudden they get what's going on in the classroom.
Wow.
And for him to see that in me, and I think what he did too was what was so slick was he knew at my age at the time I was really crazy about sports. And he said, if that football career of yours didn't work out, he didn't tell me it wasn't gonna work out.
Right.
He didn't tell me that. He said, if it doesn't work out,
I
I think you need to be a teacher.
That's good.
And I rolled with that. From the time as soon as I enrolled in college, I started off in elementary education, man. Never changed my major.
Wow. Wow. That's cool. Wow. So educators, if you have forgotten or for whatever reason that you didn't know, you do make a difference. Your words have value. You know, you're making an impact every single day in that classroom. So thank you. And every educator, every coach, every person working with young people, your voice matters. Your voice matters. And maybe every student may not seem like they hear you, but it's going to be ones that hear you, and you never know when you say it. When you speaking into them, you know, you're not even going to know that they're listening, but a lot of times they listening. So hope that encourages you. All right. So, so you went to school, obviously knowing this is the road I'm going down. What happened coming out of college? Like, how did you get to Cincinnati and like your first teaching? Like, how did that happen?
So, man, I'm from Columbus. So I was up in Columbus and
shout out to Columbus, C-O-O-H.
I-O. So, man, I did extra little bit of time in college. And I enjoyed it that much. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get 4 years. I did a little extra time. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So by the time I was done with my student teaching, I was student teaching at Columbus Afrocentric School and, you know, talked to the principal there and was potentially going to go back and interview.
Okay.
At that school.
Okay.
Well, man, after that time in college, man, I fell off the radar for about 2 weeks, man. I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was left everything alone, man. I stayed at mom's crib. It was just, I didn't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
So when I finally reached out to the principal, he was like, man, you know, you're supposed to get back with me. And so he was, you know, he had filled the position.
Right.
So I'm looking around. Well, my cooperating teacher, and this is a power relationship. So my cooperating teacher for my student teaching experience, he was opening this brand new charter school up. So this is 23 years ago. This is before charter schools was anything, you know. So he was like, man, I can let you interview over there.
Wow.
So interviewed there, ended up getting a job, third grade position, tough too, tough. Like school wasn't ready to be opened up yet.
Okay.
So I'm 22 years old, telling people who's bringing their kids to this brand new school, that we ain't opening up for another couple weeks. But it made me.
Wow.
But it made me, like those years at that charter school made me. So stayed there. We stayed at the church for 1 year. Then the following 2 years, we went over to the Martin Luther King Center and had school there, which was a very great spot to have a school at, especially considering it was a sort of an Afrocentric based type of school. So you couldn't beat being in that environment with all the history over there. So that was great.
Are your students lacking confidence? How's their decision making in the school? What about their effort in the classroom? Are they giving it all that they really, really have? Well, these are things that as a national youth speaker and author, I address in school buildings. If you are dealing with any of these issues and you would like to have a fun, exciting, full of energy presentation, assembly, don't hesitate to reach out. My website is SeanGary.com. How they think about their next choices will be different. Go ahead and book a discovery call with me, which we simply have a conversation about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then I can share with you what I would say, do, what talks that I have that address those areas, and also what assembly would look like. And yes, I'm pretty much there the whole day. All right, thanks a lot. Now back to the episode. Before we move on, I just want to go back to that point where you had that week or 2 weeks where you was like, I'm chilling, well earned and deserved. Congrats on the grads and all that. But if you move your feet and you drag your feet rather, then you might miss out on opportunity. So you might have learned that in that moment, shoot, like dang. But yeah, for those of the students that are out there or whoever is watching, or if you connect with, hey, it may not have nothing to do with being a student, but as an adult, drag your feet, you might miss out on that opportunity. But so you got a dope one though, because it was able to give you an opportunity to be put right in the midst of a growing situation. So right out the ground, like soil fresh, like you in the seed planted, like you at the very, very beginning of, are they still around now?
Nah, that school's closed now.
Okay.
That school's closed now.
So you said the first year y'all was
at the church
at the church.
Yep.
And the second and third year,
Second and third year we was at Dr. Martin Luther King Center.
Okay.
On Mount Vernon Avenue.
Okay.
We represent a lot of Columbus stuff in here right now. We'll get this.
Yeah. Right. For sure. That's 3 years. So were you there just the 3 years?
Just 3 years.
And did you do third grade all 3 years?
Third grade all 3 years.
Okay.
Yep.
So what was something that you can remember? I know that's a long time ago. What's something that, because I like asking, what's the worst thing that you've seen and had to experience in school and teaching? But in those first 3 years, it seemed like I can ask now and later. But in those first 3 years, like what's probably the worst thing or the craziest thing that happened that you maybe was like, man, I ain't never gonna forget this.
Man, shoot, not about to get our paychecks one time, man.
Y'all almost didn't get paid?
We about not get paid, man, because we didn't have we were still going through we had graduated. Me and my teacher partner, we graduated. She a principal now too. So
nice.
In the Central Ohio area.
Okay.
So we was man, we didn't have our teacher license. This superintendent / principal, she ran everything by herself.
Right.
God rest her soul though. She was telling us we wasn't gonna get paid.
Dang. So
and we was working, man. We was working. She was about not to keep our checks. She was about to give us our little latchkey checks and not give us the real check.
Dang.
So my partner, she like, nah. She's like, hey, look, we not coming back Monday if we don't get paid today. And I'm just behind her like, well, she said we ain't coming back. Guess we not coming back Monday. Because you ain't paying us anyway. Right. So she went and got the checks for us.
Was it supposed to be just y'all two not getting it? Or everybody?
It was just a small school. It was only 3 classrooms.
Oh.
So the other lady was a founder. She was a retired teacher. So she was straight no matter what. She didn't play her like that. Okay. And she actually had her teacher license. Right. Okay. We were still trying to pass the praxis test.
Oh.
So we had to pass the praxis yet.
Okay.
So she was considered as not full licensed teachers at the time. But we doing the job. I'm talking about we working long hours too. Right. And
you said not having a teaching license don't mean don't get a check. Like at least
so that was the craziest thing. But it's funny. Damn. It's funny when you think when I go back to that time though. As foul as lady was, she gave me the greatest advice in my educational career probably. And
which was what?
I was getting ran through by my class. Like pause. I was. They was giving me the blues. I didn't think they were, but it was out of control. Yeah. And one day she came in the classroom and she was like, get control of your class before you start teaching. Because I'm young, I'm just trying to teach. I just want to teach everything. Right. I don't care if dude on the floor rolling around over there. I don't care if he doing this. I'm trying to teach. I got these two sitting up here engaged with me right now.
They're ready.
Yeah, they ready to go. She told me that. Man, I flipped the next week. And that I believe that's who I became in the classroom.
Yeah, that's good. So they was just wild.
So everybody they had their issues the first year. They say they don't. Yeah. Ain't nobody like what you see them in the third year or second year.
Man, I'm trying to think what's something that I actually experienced. Well, I was a high school class too, but I remember I had that little moment right before it came out of my mouth, like I probably shouldn't say this, but I was trying to get their attention and I was trying to push the envelope a little bit, and I said something that I probably I shouldn't have said. And that back then I wasn't, as, skilled with or whatever with trying to connect and stuff like that. Like, back then, but I was like, I know if I say this though, they gonna be like, wait, what you just say? Like, and it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And I think it was cool because right before I said it, I was like, well, I don't know if this gonna go over like I wanted to. And it was worse than I thought. And then I immediately learned like, yeah, I can't can't say that. I can't say that. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work no more. And it was high schoolers too, so they had all kind of attitude on top of that with it, and it was like, yeah, that it didn't go over good. But that was probably like one of the things that I can remember saying something early that I did, something I did in the classroom that just didn't work out right. But check, not getting a check, that's tough, man.
That was it.
That's tough.
So when you talk about them 3 years, that's probably the one thing that stood out. The kids was cool. We worked a lot of hours. We worked hard, but it made me appreciate everything even today.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate the job I have now and the school I'm at now, and you know the benefits I have now because of those early 3 years, those first 3 years.
You have everything to base everything on after that, right? Like it's like, well, what was the first thing like? And the next one.
And you talking about the check too. You talking about being underpaid too.
Oh man.
You know, we probably about at the time maybe making $10,000 or $15,000 less than the people in the other school district that was that we was doing the same job, probably working longer hours than they were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's good that you were able to learn and grow from it though. What happened after that? So them 3 years.
So then I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get out the game. You know, I'm
done already.
I'm doing personal training. I'm
done.
I'm training some of the baddest high school dudes in the city.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. You know, you got to shout that.
We got to plug the Haven documentary on Tubi.
Yes.
You can check that out.
Yes.
About the only Columbus City League team to win a football state championship on Tubi, the Haven. You can check that out.
Yes.
So
it's dope. It's fire. All kind of faces in there. That was that's what's there. Oh, that's what's there.
Yeah.
Dang, that's what.
On Tubi too.
On Tubi.
On Tubi, so you can check it out.
Fire.
But I'm training the guys. I'm the baddest thing in the city. But I ain't making no money off of it.
Right.
But I'm thinking I'm about to do my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I tell them, it was some kind. And you do some when you're young. You just ego of young. You mean 20s is crazy.
Yeah.
Man, they told me they was gonna like sure because we talk about the pay. They was gonna make my pay comparable to Columbus City at the time, and it wasn't.
Now this is who saying that?
This is the people at the first charter school.
Oh, okay. So the back to the first 3 year people.
Yeah, 3 year people.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right.
I ain't had no family. I had nothing. So it was only gonna be me not making no check.
Right.
And she wouldn't give me no check anyway.
Yeah. Right. There was nothing holding you back from making that decision.
But so we go.
And you was training.
I was training, but then one of my college teammates, his uncle was a principal at the fitness academy, Northland Preparatory Fitness Academy.
Okay.
Well, he's the principal there. He calls me like, "You want a title?" I got a job as a title teacher, so because I didn't want to work full time no more.
Okay.
I would have certain hours. I'd be good.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'll take that."
Then,
guess his sixth grade teacher leaves. Well, I'm a third grade teacher. I'm really trying to mess with no sixth grade for real.
Right.
He like, "Is you a teacher for real?" I said, "Yes." I'm my teaching lesson. I didn't pass the practice test by now.
Okay. You like, yeah.
Now I made it look like it would come across like I was teaching, but I was a legit teacher.
He said, "Are you a real teacher?"
Yeah. You know, this is the early 2000s. We got the white tees, the big jeans, short Yankee hat.
Right.
You know, that's the look.
Yep.
And he like, "You want to take the sixth grade job for me?" Well, I ain't had nothing else going on, so I went and took it. And worked out there. We had another issue there where we were supposed to be in a building, this charter school, early 2000s. It's different at the time.
Yeah.
So we had a building we're supposed to be at. We do open up on time.
Okay.
But we have to go to a whole new building. I got to share a classroom with another teacher.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, that's probably my favorite year in education.
Really?
Easiest year ever.
How so? Like what made it?
Kids was great.
Really?
Kids was great. And like I said, once again, you appreciate what you never had, what you went through. Well, at my previous school, we had no breaks. We did lunch with our kids. We did recess with our kids.
Wow.
We even did, to make a little, like I said, make a little extra money. We actually did the latchkey.
Wow.
So one of us would do the morning latchkey, the other one would do the late latchkey.
Right.
Y'all
was going in.
We was going in. We was young, you could do that then.
Right. I was gonna say fresh out of college. Right.
You had it.
Let's go.
We was partying late in college, so this wasn't no thing to go make us happen like this.
Right.
Man, so I get to the new school and we get an hour break.
You like, wait, what?
Yeah, we got physical education at the school, so it's an hour break every day. I'm like, what?
Right.
And the first, I'll probably say, man, it may be like almost a whole year I'm in the class with my kids. Like I'm in the fitness class with my kids because I just ain't used to being away from them.
Okay.
And then finally they was like, man, you need to go in your classroom because you don't need to be with them.
Right.
But I was so accustomed to being with my kids, I was good. But they were great. They were just a great group of kids, and I'm still friends with some of them on Facebook. It's crazy.
Wow.
They close to 30 years old now.
Wow.
So we end up going, and then I began to teach. We go to the school, so I'm teaching 6th grade. My partner, he teaches 7th grade.
Okay.
He teaches 7th grade because my 6th graders have moved up to 7th grade now.
Yeah.
So about halfway through the year, we're like, we both say, I'm tired of my class. He's like, I'm tired of my class too. I said, you want to do half and half? I was like, I could take math and reading, and you could take science and social studies.
Okay.
And we can flip.
Yeah.
Man, that made the day go so smooth.
For real.
Made the day go so smooth.
Nice.
And that was one of the best years. So the first year was probably my best year, like just the way the kids were. But academic success was one of my biggest years that next year because 75% of our students had passed the OST test back in the day.
Okay.
Whatever. Oh wait, they changed stuff so much.
Yeah. Whatever the test was.
We passed that.
Nice.
And great group of kids. But then we started getting a reputation around the city of being a real good school.
Okay.
So we went from 30, maybe 38, 40, 7th and 6th graders to the very next year to almost 100, 6th, 7th, 8th graders.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up though.
Yeah. And
but you had the 6 and he had the 7?
He had this, but we flipped up and then we both had 6 and 7.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So you had to teach math, but for both grades. Like, okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Both grades.
Gotcha.
I taught my 6th graders. I took
that.
my 6th graders in the morning. Then he took he had 7th grade in the morning. Then we flip-flopped
in the
Yep.
afternoon.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So the next year y'all had everybody knocking on the door.
We had everybody knock on the door.
Dang.
And that's when I got some raw 8th graders too. My boys.
For real?
Yeah, a few of my boys that got kicked out of some school.
Oh, okay,
So I had them up there.
Okay.
And
What was that like?
I had to give my respect, but you can do stuff back then that was different. You can do now. You can't do what you can't.
Right.
I had gangsters and they was gangsters though.
Right.
They kept their mouth shut. You know, we handled what we had to handle. And they was great. But I always did stuff with my boys. Like I would always we would always go play football with them.
Yeah.
We always did recess with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had that relationship with them. They was good. They was good kids.
Yeah.
They really, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Up.
We had fun too. We had a good staff.
Okay.
Staff was great. We was a bunch of
makes a difference.
Fun. A bunch of fun. Yeah. A bunch
That's
of
what's
fun,
up.
man.
That's what's up. So so dang, we still in Columbus. So how much longer were you in Columbus?
That was my last year. So I taught for 6 years in Columbus. That's the bell right there if y'all watching right now.
That's right.
We actually at my school. We really at the school. This is a school podcast for real, okay? So y'all just got the bell. Ain't no kids here, but that was the bell going off right there.
Right. Time to get to class.
Uh-huh.
What you doing? Hey, wrap that up. Get in that class.
Yeah.
You okay with the tardy slip?
It's real.
All right. So you said 6 years in Columbus.
6 years teaching in Columbus.
Okay. And then what was the transition? How was that? What made
our superintendent, she had seen administrator in me.
Okay.
And I was cool. I'm trying to still be a personal trainer. I really ain't trying to do a thing like this. That's what I want to do.
See, I'm still not fully bought into the education.
I ain't bought in this year, but I'm doing it. I'm good at it, but I ain't bought in. So she seen the administrator in me, so she asked me that I want to come and it was a couple of schools that went through. I was actually the principal at, but they had fell through, which all worked out the right way. So it was a charter school in Mount Healthy that she had down in there, and
that's where we met.
That's where we met.
Okay.
That's where we met. Maybe a year, but we met like a year later.
Okay.
That's where we at. So get the assistant principal job down there. First time ever leaving because college I went to Otterbein, which was only 15, 20 minutes away from the crib.
Yeah.
So I actually really had to leave.
First time like being gone.
Being gone.
Yeah.
Moving down here. And it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a culture shock. That 100 miles make a difference. I'm talking about the slang.
Yeah.
You talking about the crazy experience. So I'll tell you the first thing got me at the new school. So, and this is the difference of the slang from the different cities. And stuff. So I'm in the office. Little dude come down. He say, I said, "What you down here for? Why you do that, dude?" He said, "Dude was capping on me." I said, "He was shooting at you in class? Like, what are you?" Because in Columbus back then, capping meant, they got the new caps. I'm not talking about lying. That's not what it meant for us back then.
Yeah.
It was lying.
Yeah.
And it was shooting.
Right.
So I'm like, "Bruh, I didn't hear no gunshots. What are you saying? He's trying to shoot. Like, what are you talking about?" And he looking at me crazy. He's like, "Nah, he was cracking jokes on me. Like, he was talking about me." I said, "That's cracking."
Yeah.
That's not. I said, "That's called cracking. That's not capping." And I remember that
cracking on me.
That first year it it was interesting because I was new down here, had to get lay of the land to get understand of, you know, a whole new culture. It was different. And I ended up staying there for about 7 years as an assistant principal over there.
Wow.
You know, I got you over there doing a little stuff with me back in the day.
Yep. Because I remember, I don't remember where I was coming from at that time, but I was looking at, I was just looking to sub somewhere else. And somebody told me, it might have been
my that's what happened. No, you
I'm talking before I got there. I'm talking about what led me to where I met y'all at. So I think it was I want to say it was my father-in-law. He said, hey, they got Cincinnati Public has like a teacher affair or whatever, you know. So I went to that, you know, and I'm thinking, and this is kind of funny. I was sharing this not long ago with somebody, and I was thinking, like, how did I? Anyway, so I'm there with my resume, and it doesn't dawn on me like this is one school district, right? So I'm at the first table, and they're like, yeah, we need subs bad, you know. I was like, okay, cool. Here's my resume, and they told me I had to go through all these different things to get in with Cincinnati Public. And I remember just thinking like, man, that sounds like a lot of stuff. Like I got to do just to come sub. And so I was like, I appreciate it. So then I went to the next one and they was all saying the same thing, man. And it was like, I didn't get this back then, but it took me like maybe 7, 8 schools maybe where I was just like, wait a minute. Like they all saying the same thing. Like this is all Cincinnati Public. So the reason I didn't want to go to the first one is the reason I don't want to go to none of them. I got to go and fill out all this stuff and register online, do all this other stuff. So, because my first school, when I graduated after Tiffin, working with them, the first charter school I started working at, I was the health and wellness facilitator. I was the gym teacher, teaching health as well. But I told her out the gate, like, Tasha Warren, that's her name. Tasha was working there, who I just talked to last week. So shout out to her. So she had told me she was working at TCP. And I was like, TCP, I was like, what is that? She's like, oh, it's elementary school. You should come check it out, whatever. So when I went, she basically gave me the position, but I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to teach because my bachelor's was in business. So I'm like, what am I going to be able to do? You know what I mean? Like, so she said, no, you could do that, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I learned like, okay, so a charter school, they can like create some things and do things different. And it's just a whole nother world. So I was like, cool. So I remember being at that particular event, however many years after that, I was at that event thinking I'm gonna get that kind of experience. Like, you know, like, as long as the paper, we want this person and this is the guy here, we want that guy, we'll make it work. Like, I'm thinking that's how, you know, and they're all like, well, no, you got to go online and do it. So anyway, I'm like, man, I'm done. I'm leaving. So I'm walking out the door and this lady at the front where you sign in, she's like, you want to be a principal? And I was thinking like, what? Where did this come from? Like where? And I wanted to be like, nah, because you know I'm doing my thing with the music, like you was doing with the sports. I was doing my thing with the music ministry and all that. So I was like, I'm subbing, but my focus is on that. And so with the label, the whole nine. So I'm walking. I was on my way out the door. I'm thinking like, no, I don't want to be a principal. And then it just hit me, and I was like, where did that come from? And it was like, God, was that you? Like, you know, like where did that? And so I slowly turned around, like, what do you mean? Like, you know, and she says, well, there's a principal. This is where you come in. And she's like, she said, there's this dinner, this principal. It's like, you know, a lot of principals, assistant principals, they want to become a principal within Cincinnati Public. They're coming to this tonight, but it's closed. It's locked out. Like they had to register and do this stuff to get in there. She was like, but I can get you in. So, I mean, that's enough said right there. Like, I'm about to be somewhere that everybody can't go. This exclusive. Like, so, yeah, I definitely am interested in going to see. And what did I do? I went with my resume. So I didn't see y'all till at the end. So I went through they had the little classes, sessions. I did everything, the little group things. Everything was really cool, which I feel like at the end of the day that helped put something in me in education that wasn't there. Okay. That wasn't there. Okay. And seeing all these other, you know, individuals that were principals, because you got to think I walked in the door like, oh, I'm just a sub. You know, these guys, I'm just a sub, you know. But then it was like I was next to them and taking part in everything. So anyway, I'm getting ready to leave. And I was like, okay, let me grab some meatballs or something real quick. They had the food and stuff. And I was getting ready to leave and I heard some laughter and stuff. And I was like, where is that coming from? And I looked all the way to the front, and I see a whole table of black people, and I was like, where they come from? Like, I didn't see them at all. And so I was like, I can't leave and not go say what's up to them, or at least give my resume to them. I got to at least go connect. And so that's where we went. And I remember I sat down at the table. Y'all were, oh man, everybody's like, you had everybody cracking up, everybody's laughing, having a good time. And I was like, man, it was like a whole culture just right here versus everybody else in the building, every other room I've been to. Like, y'all was in your own world, just enjoying each other and everything. And I was like, man, this is what's up, right? I like this. And so I sat down and y'all was like, well, yeah, introduce yourself or what and I said, I'm a sub. And then everybody was like, well, we need subs. And all y'all was like, no, we need subs too. We need subs. And everybody's like, let me get the resume. So I was passing it out. And then you asked,
what I say, man?
You was looking at the resume, and then you was looking at everybody, and you was like, so what y'all pay y'all subs? And I don't remember like what their reaction was at first, but they all just kind of, started answering the question, throwing their numbers out there. And you was just kind of sitting back like, and they was throwing these numbers out, and I was just looking, because I'm like, okay, that's what I would get paid there. That's what I would get paid. Okay, that's what I get. And then you said what y'all paid y'all subs, and it was like you knew you had the Trump card. Like, you knew y'all's pay was much higher. It was like you was just messing with them, like, and you threw your number out, and they all was like, oh yeah, you better go work with him. And everybody slid their resume back to me, and I was like, well, I guess I'm about to come see you then. Like,
but one of them things what happened with that though, because you didn't know what I was thinking at the time. Like, I'm looking, like, when you came up, I'm like, dude, what dude up here? We trying to be principals, and we trying to get on. And what you trying to do? But something told me to still, like, you never know when you're gonna need somebody, when you can help somebody else out. Because my attitude in my head, I'm like, this dude tripping. Like, what are you even here for? But I'm like, you know what? I kept your resume, and I'm like, I might need him. Yeah. I might need bro at the school and look at the relationship we had since then.
I mean, I think you had me in there that week. Like, it was quick. It was a quick turnaround. Yeah, it was quick.
We made it safe.
Yeah, it was quick. So I appreciate that. Yep, I appreciate that, because you even told me, you was like, yeah, I'm working on getting in here with Cincinnati Public, but he was like, when I come, I'm taking you with me. and I think I stayed there. Because I think you were there maybe 2 more years, something like that.
That's a lesson right there. Mm-hmm. That's a lesson right there for folks. Period.
Yeah.
You may not get everything that you expect in
that time. Yeah.
You gotta be patient.
Yep.
You gotta be patient. Like you said, I went through that. I went through that open house. That's the bell again. Hold on. Went through that open house, and not getting frustrated. Just kept working my tail off at the school, at the charter school, doing what we needed to do.
Yeah.
And we had and then finally got the opportunity probably a couple of years later to finally go to Cincinnati Public School. And you're talking about still with the charter school at the time. Now I don't know how it is now, because I don't be in nobody's pockets, but we weren't competitive at all. Salary wise.
Wow.
What we was getting paid. Same job, longer hours.
Yeah.
Way less money.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still that's why I'm appreciative of what I got still today, because of what I've been through already.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good, man. That's good. Because, I think I was there 1 more year after you left, and it wasn't the same. For sure, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I appreciate everywhere I've been to, but it was just different. But anyway, and then I ended up coming over, and we connected at a couple of the other schools you were at. So help us get to where we are right now.
Let's fly through that real quick.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a little bit. Let's fly through that one.
Yep, to where we are right now.
We get in Cincinnati Public, we get in the door of Cincinnati Public School, go to Bond Hill Academy as a principal. Not knowing too much about the district, pretty much need to take a step back.
Okay.
Go to assistant principal role.
Okay.
I really didn't understand what it was like to be a principal at the time. And you think you're ready to be in that big chair until you get in that big chair.
Yeah.
And you don't understand how much, as an AP, you think you're really doing everything. Because I was an AP at the other charter school for 7 years, so I thought I had it down pat.
Right.
When you come to this new district, it's totally different because everything's on you. There's nobody else to ask the question for. The final answer goes with you.
Yeah.
Everybody's expecting you to lead. So take a step back. I'm going to high school. Never thought I would go to high school. But at first, never thought I would go to high school. But then something told me, like when I was leaving out of Bond Hill, I'm like, man, I want to go to high school.
Yeah.
So I did my 4 years over at Woodward as assistant principal over there. It was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Great experience. Mace going back to elementary school is a breeze now.
Right.
So then we had the COVID year. Go to Reese Price for a year during the COVID year. That was wild. That was a wild year. Then have a different experience, completely different than what I ever experienced. I was at Kilgore High Park.
That's right.
Which are two real high performing schools. And I had never worked in no school like that. It was different. It was totally different, but it was a great peace of mind. Got to learn a lot. Got to really work on my instructional leadership skills over there because a lot of the behavior issues that you may see other places weren't there. Not that it was easy at all because it's like a chess match over there because certain stuff, ways you'll mess up over there that you may never have to deal with that in other schools.
Right.
In the urban school.
Right.
So it was a little different. Then where we at right now?
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to go to Hyde Park for my third year, rock out. You know what I mean? And do what we got to do. I'm established over there. I got the culture down packed. Know the families. I'm ready to go. Man, a week before school call, you get a call like, "Hey, do you want to go down to Rothenburg? Be the principal down in Rothenburg?" I'm like, I got to talk.
You mean a week from now? A week from now?
You marry, you always do just lie. I got to holler at my wife.
Right.
About this one.
Right.
Because I really ain't trying to leave where I'm at right now. This has been the smoothest years I've had in my career. I'm trying to leave about a year right now. And God told me I had to go.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew what happened. Knew I was going. So that's where we at, man. Had a pretty decent year this year. We're gonna do a lot better next year. But that's where we at right now.
Good. All right. So I asked it earlier, and then this will be kind of the last question before we wrap up. So I asked earlier, what's the biggest thing, the craziest, wildest thing in that first 3 years? I like asking that question over the whole time, but I asked it earlier for those three, but now I'm asking for like just period. What's something that you was like, man, I didn't see this coming, or wow, that was crazy that happened since then, since that first 3 years? Out of all the teaching, parents, dealing with parents, out of everything, craziest thing you've seen or dealt with?
What you mean? Man. You talking about 20 years, man.
I know.
You talking about 20 years.
I know. It's got to be something in there.
20 years. I want to say something positive. I don't want to say nothing.
Nah, man, this is entertaining too.
We
want to hear the I done heard about deer like attacking the bus line, the car drop off line. One principal said I had somebody else talking about a girl let people in the building to fight. Let them in on the side door. Like, so yeah, it ain't got to be good. It could be just something crazy. Wow. Like, wait, what? Plus, you got to think another principal might go, oh man, I had that same thing and I thought it was just me. So anything.
Man, some of the stuff I can't say at high school. I can't even say it, man.
Say it, man.
Nah, some of the high school
because this ain't for kids. This for adults. It's for those who work with students. But they say it, man. You got to give it. Don't y'all want to hear it? Tell them, say it. Type it in. Say it.
They got to go to the Patreon. They got to go to the Patreon. They got to go to the Patreon for the high school. So I'm going to be straight up with you, man.
All right.
Okay. Stories.
All right. So I do actually have a Patreon page. So you can tell it, and then I'll cut it out and put it only in the Patreon. So they got to go there for real to get it if you want to do that. Or you can give two of them, and I throw the one in the Patreon, and then we got one we can leave live.
Man, you see the stuff. You see the parents coming and want to fight kids.
Yeah.
You go off the bus, the parent that brought the kid up to fight, and you like, oh, that's where they got it from. That's why they doing what they had to do.
Yeah.
Riot at a football game.
Okay.
Seen riots at the football game. You see some things on camera that you ain't supposed to see on camera.
What?
Yeah, you see things like that. But I would say probably one of the man. You talking 20 years, so you see
a lot of stuff.
If I wrote a book, I got stories for days. I got a book that I couldn't even. There's not even pages to write the book.
All right,
but I tell you something that really stood out. What stood out because we always talk about how crazy the COVID was.
Okay,
we always talk about how crazy that year was. So when I was my last year at Woodward, that was the year we all went out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think March maybe was like the last bit of the school.
I don't remember.
I think it was March. So we was gone.
Yeah.
So them babies had missed prom.
Oh,
because of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. So what we did was we did a drive-by graduation.
I remember hearing about that.
Hey man.
Yes.
Fire.
Was it?
Fire.
What?
Yeah. So they lined up now. I'm dealing with my people, so they
Right,
broke the rules.
right,
You know, certain
right.
last names supposed to come at certain times and get in the line and get in order. But man, parents and everybody, they got to flock out. They was in the parking lot over at Woodward, so we did it around the circle over there. So they parents up there, they out there, man. And so since they didn't have prom, they brought prom to the graduation. So they got the stretch limousine.
What?
They got the Teslas with the suicide doors.
Nice,
they got the party buses.
Yeah.
They was
That's what's up,
partying.
though.
Then our valedictorian that year, she was going to the fire academy.
Okay.
So the fire truck brought her around
What?
to get her diploma.
Wow, that's dope.
And man, so
That's
we get done with it because we really hadn't seen each other. We didn't get to practice because COVID.
Yeah.
So we just had to run it. So we put the mic out there. Mr. Yates, shout out to OG Sam Yates over at Woodward right now. He was our principal at the time. And me and Brandon Kingman, Mr. Kingman, College Hill's principal right now.
Okay.
So we're all over there.
Nice.
Our current interim superintendent, Ms. Shauna Murphy, she was our principal the year before that.
Wow.
Over there. So a lot of leadership over there.
Yeah.
So man, we're all done. We done cleaned up everything. And our superintendent at the time, she even came down for that graduation.
Okay.
And
nice.
She was like impressed by how it went.
Wow.
And it was great. It was great. That's one of the highlights of my career. Remember that. And so we're leaving. So it's me, Mr. Yates. Shout out to Eddie Hawkins. We're one of the SROs, one of the great police officers for Cincinnati Public.
Okay.
Cincinnati Police Department. Wonderful man, wonderful mentor, wonderful guy. Period. Woodward alumni, diehard. So we done. We cleaning up. We putting stuff in the back. And we all sitting there like I'm sitting there looking at him like I'm looking like this. And I said I want to say something. I don't think I can say it, man. Hawk, go and say it. Say what you got to say. I said, man, was that better than regular graduations? He said, man, I wanted to say the same thing. He said, I wanted to say the same thing. Because it was no speech. It was no talking. They got to do just what they wanted to do. They came around in diplomas. They got the diploma. We called their name. They came around in cars. Man, bruh, I'm still remembering it's about 20 or 30 them boys and girls on the stretch limousine. They on top of it, partying, getting the diploma for their kids. So they
loved it. Of course they loved it. So to them, that would have been better than a regular graduation, for sure.
I think it was.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's one of the things that stand out.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Okay, so for the Patreon story, I want to hear something. What was on camera? You seen something crazy on camera?
Yeah, I don't want to mention because it's kids. It's kids.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be some staff member doing something stupid.
They still babies, but you got them doing stuff too.
Yeah.
I would say this, man. When you talking about like, hold on, they go to bell again. Don't never think them crazy stories that you hear on TV will never happen to you.
Yeah.
I want to leave it like that. So don't never think. I mean, I done probably seen everything.
Man,
I done seen it all. I done seen it all. Where, you thought you knew somebody, but you really didn't know them.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I would definitely say don't ever. It's funny because we do a lot of principal meetings together, or we do a lot of assistant principal meetings together.
Yeah.
And you hear everybody else's story. And you'll think to yourself during the time period, like, that's not my story, so I don't really got to pay attention to you. I can tell you this, bro, honestly.
Yeah.
Since my whole career, almost every crazy story that I may have heard before that I thought was nuts and that's never going to happen in my school.
Yeah.
Had experience in my school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be sad, too, because, like you said, I wasn't thinking about it, but like you said, we're talking about kids. So, man, that could be tough. I'm sure there's stuff that you got cameras and people thinking nobody watching, and people show their real colors. You
see a lot. The eye in the sky don't lie. You know what they say in football and in sports. The eye in the sky don't lie. So you catch the camera.
That's wild. Oh, that reminds me of who said this? Was this on a show? Oh my gosh, where did this come from? I remember the story though. It was this might have been real. I don't know where this came from, but it was a teacher, a young lady who was teaching, and she was walking down the hall, and she said she felt like somebody slapped her butt or something. And she was like in the hall by herself, but so she just like kind of stopped and she looked back, and there was like nobody around her, like somebody way in the hall way back, but not near. And then, dang, I think this is a real story. I try to remember, because at first I was like, was this on the show I saw? Somebody really told me this, I think. But they went and I gotta remember who it was, because I'm like, wait, hold up, I'm about to tell somebody stuff. I ain't gonna call their name if I can remember. But basically, they went they were headed to the office.
Yeah.
And the principal kind of was like, well, what's up? Like, and she was just like, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe he's like, what's up? He's like, I just feel like I was walking through the hall and like I felt like somebody slapped my butt or something, but there wasn't nobody there. Like, and he was like, oh, well, let's check the cameras. So they checked the cameras, and the little dude that was in the hall, he like creeps all the way up to her, like, and like slaps her on the butt or whatever, and then like backpedals. Like,
how did he get away?
He backpedaled. He did it in like backpedal real quick.
So was she shocked and couldn't see it?
Say that again.
So she just shocked and couldn't see it? What happened?
No. So by the time it happened, and she thinking like, wait, did I? And she turned around. He was still in the hallway.
Okay.
Walking towards her. So like he slapped her booty and then like backpedaled, like, but didn't turn around. He just backpedaled, like, and just kept walking forward, like she ain't gonna think it's me because I'm way back here. So so yeah, they called him on camera. So he said camera, and that's what comes to mind. I'm so sorry if that was you, because I feel like this was somebody who told me this happened to them. I can't remember who it was though. Oh my gosh. But
sometimes you don't mean to mention no names.
But I mean, if I thought of who it was, I still wouldn't call her name. But now I'm just thinking like, dang, who was that though? But yeah, I remember hearing that, and I thought it was a show. But as I was talking it out, I'm like, wait, I think that was somebody that told me that happened to them. And they checked the cameras, and little buddy hit him, boom, and like backed up real quick.
That's wild, man.
And it's an elementary school, so a little person, little kids, man, they funny, man.
Yeah, but
they
was
funny.
Yeah, man, they was. So I like I said, I seen some stuff. I know we had at my one charter school of Mount Healthy. It's supposedly supposed to be the most haunted building.
Okay.
So one of my principals, my mentor, he was in the supernatural. He actually brought some ghost hunters to the school one night, man.
For real?
Yeah, man. And it was telling me like one day he said there telling me the stories about like everything. Like he said, because it was a pole that I would stand at, and he was like, "You always at peace there." He said, "There's an angel that's over you back there." Wow. He said it's a real positive spirit that's back there. That's why you always look at peace when you sit over there, when you standing over there. Man, he talked. Man, some of the stuff. I'm gonna be like this, man. Some of the stories he told me were so bad. When I'd be there late at night, I would run out the building because I'd be getting nervous about what he told me about. Because the stories are so deep, you like, man, nah, let me go.
Hold on, I'm about to hear it.
Let me go, man.
Let me get home.
Yep, I'm talking about running out the building, like, man, nah, bro.
Oh man, that's funny. I can see you like, man, I'm trying to get your keys. Like, I'm locking up.
You good that first hour. Like, you good when you go in there. You hear that door or something crack or something like that. I'm like, nah, I'm gone.
Nope,
I'm out. Yep.
Like, nope. I'm going. I know ain't nobody else here. Ain't no doors should be slamming nowhere. Like, there shouldn't be no sounds. But I heard something. I'm out.
That's it. Yep.
That's all I needed. I'm gone. Finish this tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Are your students lacking confidence? How's their decision making in the school? What about their effort in the classroom? Are they giving it all that they really, really have? Well, these are things that, as a national youth speaker and author, I address in school buildings. If you are dealing with any of these issues and you would like to have a fun, exciting, full of energy presentation, assembly, don't hesitate to reach out. My website is SeanGary.com. How they think about their next choices will be different. Go ahead and book a discovery call with me, which we simply have a conversation about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then I can share with you what I would say, do, what talks that I have that address those areas, and also what an assembly would look like. And yes, I'm pretty much there the whole day. All right, thanks a lot. Now back to the episode. Last question, what we do on the show, every episode. So this is your option A and option B.
Okay.
So this is the winning play. So option A, You have your principals, your teachers, and your parents, and you give 3 tips, 3 winning plays for them. Or option B, you pick one of them and you give 5. So principals, teachers, or parents together, each getting 3. Or option B, you pick one of them and you give 5 winning plays, tips for them. What's something that can help them out? Which choice you want to go with?
Let's go with the 3.
All right, option A. So let's do principals last.
Okay.
Let's go with the parent. Let's go teachers first.
Teachers first.
3 tips for teachers.
Put the kids first.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. What else?
Who we got next?
Oh, 3.
Teachers.
So you got 2 more for teachers.
Same with teachers.
Yep. 2 more for the teachers.
Put the kids first. Do what's best for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourself.
Oh, that's good.
Take
That's
care of
good.
yourself.
That's good. It's easy to get burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to get burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to that was teachers. Let's go parents.
You about to peep a pattern though.
What's that?
You about to see a pattern.
Oh. All right. For the parents.
Do what's best for kids.
Do what's best for the kids.
Stay involved.
Mm-hmm.
Stay involved
That's good.
as much as you can.
Right.
Because a lot of times what people understand is they'll and teachers got to understand this, educators got to understand this. Just because they may not be at every parent-teacher conference, or they may not come every field trip, maybe they can't.
Right.
But you got to be involved. You got to still be able to communicate to your students' teacher and know what's going on at the school and have an idea of what's going on.
That's good.
Guess what? Due to my job, I may look like I'm completely involved because I can't go to the field trip randomly like I want to with my sons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still involved. I still need to know what's going on.
Right.
So I would say that's one right there.
That's good. That's the second one. What's the third one?
The third one?
Yeah, for parents.
Your kids didn't learn the same way that you learn.
That's a good one right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Because they're expecting things to be with their kid the way it was for them. And it's like, it may not be that way. It may not. That's good. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Hope y'all taking notes. All right. And then last but not least.
And that go for teachers too, though.
Okay.
That's for the teachers too.
Yeah.
Because you
excuse me.
You get somebody my age, and it was the way I learned how to do math. It don't fit the way that these kids are learning how to do math.
Right.
Now.
Right.
And guess what? So if I'm teaching them the way I'm teaching them, then I'm not preparing them for what's coming up now. Coming up later for them, what they have to deal with.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's real good. I like that. And like you said, it fits for them as well because we all put things in our own perspective of how we dealt with it. So that's good. All right. What about so the 3 for principals, and then we get you up out of here.
3 for principals. Put the kids first. Always put them kids first.
Yeah.
And this is what some of my veteran principals. I'm still learning the principal game still.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to really teach a principal I'm still trying to learn myself about what I can say to them. See, I've been in a position as a parent. I've been in a position as a teacher. Actually, been in a position as a principal. You're still learning. Be the thermometer.
Nice. What do you mean by that? Explain.
You change the temperature. The temperature don't change you.
That's good.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good. If they see you panic, then they gonna panic. It's like with parents and kids too. Mm-hmm. Your kid fall, you just oh my gosh. Then they go ah, but you like, oh, you all right? You all right? They're like, oh, I must be all right.
Thermostat at the moment. I'll make sure. I won't miss that. Is the thermostat the one?
You said thermostat. Yeah.
Thermostat.
So yep, because that's you changing it. You adjust it.
Yep.
That's good.
You don't change with that.
That's good.
Yeah, you don't change with that. And then
last one.
And this is probably, I'm talking to myself right now on this one. Don't be afraid to have those uncomfortable conversations if it's due to benefit the purpose of the kids. Because you're really the kid's biggest advocate. You're the kid's biggest advocate. You got to make sure that they get what they're supposed to get. And you can't always let the teachers or the staff dictate what's going on. You got to be able to make sure that you're able to have those uncomfortable conversations. I'm talking to me right now too. You got to have those uncomfortable conversations that that make sure that what's going best for the kids. We grown, and you could say we underpaid or we ain't getting what we should. And it might be true, but you signed up for it. These babies didn't sign up for this. Somebody sent them to school and they didn't expect you to give them the best what you're supposed to get. So you got to make sure they get that.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
That's real good. That's a great way to wrap that up. All right. Before we go, is there anything more you want to say or share or promote or talk about before we go?
I would probably say for principals, teachers, and parents, make sure you take care of yourself first too.
Yeah.
Because you ain't no good for nobody else if you're not right. So take care of yourself. We definitely gonna promote the Haven though.
Right.
The Haven
Yeah. Shout that out again. Shout that
the
out
Haven
again.
documentary on Tubi.
Yeah.
Please go check it out.
Go check that out. If you send me the link for it, I'll put it in the description down low.
Got you.
So make sure y'all go down there and click that, check that out. Right after y'all hit like, after you hit subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And listen, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you for showing up, man. Big time. Big time. I appreciate you. Busy guy, man. Man, you didn't even tell them about the working out and the journey and winning your competition and stuff.
We would do that.
We'll say that for another time. We'll save it for another time.
We got to finish show or something like that.
Yeah,
We'll do a show like that.
But
that was, and that goes back to, I was extremely overweight 3 or 4 years ago. And when I was able to finally take care of myself, I'm able to be a whole lot better for my students, for my teachers, for my family, for my kids. I'm able to be a lot better for them. But, that just comes with territory.
Yeah, that's good.
Just come with it.
That's good. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up with that. It's your boy, Sean Gary, and we out. Peace.